A lot of times, really well-intended people dedicate their life to serving other people, but they forget themselves in the process. The first person you have to keep happy is yourself.
You're watching the Dr. Nandi Show, and it's been incredible so far. Please welcome them back, the creator of the Function Life Coaching, Mastin Kip, our Next Steps for Women expert, Ellen Stellian, and co-founder of the Buried Life movement, the man who dared to ask, what do you want to do before you die, Ben Nemtin. So, gentlemen and young lady, are you ready for a question or two?
Yeah,
sure. All right, we have a gentleman right here. Go for it, sir.
Yes, I've been feeling kind of like in a rut in my job lately, really unhappy with it. Doesn't everyone feel that way? But would I be letting people down if I was to leave my job?
Mass, I'll let you take that.
Short answer is yes, and that's okay.
All right, but maybe elaborate. Tell you, what can he do?
Well, I think ultimately the first question you have to ask yourself is, what do I need to feel the way that I want to feel? Because that's what purpose is all about. And what problems would I love to solve? A lot of times, really well-intended people dedicate their life to serving other people, but they forget themselves in the process. So when you are in maybe a soul-sucking job, a lot of times you realize, oh my gosh, I've focused on all these other people, and the desire to leave, one of the reasons why people stay is because they want to, keep certain people happy. The first person you have to keep happy is yourself.
Ellen, any questions?
Yeah, this sounds a lot like people pleasing to me, and I'm very familiar with that.
Yes.
So no, you only live one life, and you got to grab it.
Ben, what about uncovering some buried stuff with this gentleman? He's unhappy in his job.
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys said it, like you can't take care of anybody else unless you take care of yourself, and that's just like something that people think is selfish, but really it's not. And if that is something that is not making you happy, then it's just not worth it. And it's going to be difficult. Change is difficult, but it's worth it in the long run. And
Brene Brown says, you got to live your bravest life, right? And you got to live your authentic life. So here's the thing, and I know a lot of you said, listen, I got bills to pay, I got 3 kids, etc. Within reason, of course, you can't just quit your job. But if you can, take the risk. Remember that being afraid to fail is the worst fear you can have. So I would encourage you to go out and look if you can. Next question. Yes, ma'am, you look lovely.
Thank you.
Of course.
I have pretty much the same question. I've been stuck in a rut. I've raised my family. How do I find out what I want?
Ellen, perfect for you, please.
I know. Well, it's interesting. I work with a lot of women in midlife around this issue because you do find yourself suddenly wondering, what's next for me? And I teach them to look at purpose as a way to sort of ground you. And it's really the intersection of 4 things. It's who you are, your values. It's what you're really good at, that's your strengths. It's what you're interested in, and that's your interests, your passions, and what you love to do. And 4th, it's really about how you want to serve. How are you going to give back? And if you can find the intersection of those 4 things, who are you, what are you good at, what do you love to do, and how can you serve, that's where you'll find your purpose.
Real great stuff. One other question. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I've always wanted to go on a big trip to like India or something.
Yeah.
I don't have the funds for it. I was just wondering, how would I go about finding my purpose without doing something like that?
I think you need to consult with my man Ben Nemtin, who sends things
really
to space.
Good question. And there's a larger question here, which is basically, I want to do this big thing and I have no idea how to do it. Now, you don't have to quit your job and go on a road trip and cross all these things off your bucket list. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you want to look at the things that are the most important to you and start to prioritize them, just like you prioritize other things in your life. And they could be very, very small little steps, and they could be very small things. But whatever those things are that are going to make you happy, and if it is going to India, then you can raise the money to get a ticket at one point. You don't have to do it tomorrow, but you can do it next year. And so it's just about keeping those things top of mind because they just get buried so easily. And so they could be little small things, but it's important just to make sure that you don't forget about them.
Here's what my fear is in your question is that, people think if I get married, I will be incredibly happy and I'll find my purpose. If I take a trip to India or Europe or whatever, you may be able to find happiness in your neighborhood. You don't always have to travel 24 hours on a plane. So my key is that, and I think it goes back to the why. Why do I want to go to India in the first place? What am I hoping to achieve? Once you find that and clarify that, you may be able to do something very different or go to India. But don't do something because you think, if I do this, something magical will happen, because that doesn't work. And wishfully thinking doesn't work either. So thank you, all you amazing people and what you've done for us. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Partha Nandi. And if you enjoyed that video, you're gonna love the next one. It's full of incredible information to help you start your health hero journey.